It was supposed to be the kind of summer afternoon people dream about. The sky stretched out wide and blue, the kind of blue that almost hurts your eyes because it's so perfect. The air smelled of grilled burgers, sunscreen, and freshly cut grass. Kids were shrieking with joy, their laughter bouncing off the fences as they splashed and cannonballed into the sparkling water of the backyard pool. You know those rare afternoons where life feels light, simple, and perfect. Where you can actually pause and think, yeah, this is what happiness looks like. That was one of those days, a memory in the making. But peace doesn't last long, not when Karen leaves across the street. And this wasn't just any ordinary neighbor. Karen had crowned herself the self-appointed sheriff of the HOA. She didn't wear a badge, but her clipboard was close enough. Sunglasses perched on her nose, a permanent scowl carved into her face, and a list of rules longer than the Bible. Every week it was something new, grass too tall, cars parked an inch over the line, music she decided was too joyful. If it brought someone happiness, Karen found a way to complain about it. This time, her eyes locked on the new backyard pool. She stormed across the street one afternoon, clipboard tucked under her arm like it was a weapon. Her heels clicked against the pavement with purpose. When the parents looked up, she was already at their gate, barking orders. She told them the pool needed to be registered with the HOA. Registered, a pool, as if backyard fun had to be stamped and approved. The parents laughed at first, thinking surely this was one of her bizarre jokes. But Karen wasn't laughing. She leaned closer, her voice dropping cold as she hissed, "Then I'll handle it myself." Nobody thought she meant it. Nobody thought she'd actually crossed that line. But Karen wasn't bluffing. Oh no, she was dead serious. A few days later, the family stepped inside to fix lunch. They were gone maybe 20 minutes, but when they came back out, they froze, and so did the neighbors, because there she was. Karen, floating smugly on a pool chair in their pool, sunglasses on, drink in hand, as if she owned the place. She had trespassed straight into their backyard and made herself queen of the water. And as if that weren't insane enough, she started yelling at the kids. "Out, this pool violates HOA rules. It's mine until the board approves it. Can you even imagine your own kids in your own backyard being ordered out by a neighbor who climbed your fence like she was storming enemy territory?" The parents tried at first to stay calm. They gave her a chance, asked her to leave, offered her dignity, but Karen wasn't budging. No, she dug in deeper, splashing, screaming about bylaws, even threatening to fine the homeowners for harassment. By now, neighbors were spilling onto their porches, some died, some shaking their heads, most of them holding up phones. The whole street had turned into an audience, watching this bizarre power play unravel like a bad sitcom, only it was real life. Finally, the homeowner had enough. He pulled out his phone, locked eyes with Karen, and dialed 3 numbers, 911. His voice was calm, steady, almost chilling as he said, "We've got a trespasser in our pool." Minutes later, the sirens cut through the lazy summer air. 2 police cruisers rolled into the cul-de-sac, lights flashing red and blue against perfectly trimmed hedges. Suddenly, the quiet street felt like a stage. Everyone held their breath. The officers stepped out, calm but firm, voices carrying across the yard, "Ma'am, step out of the pool." Karen didn't flinch. She crossed her arms, water dripping from her elbows, and declared, "I'm acting on behalf of the HOA. I have authority here," as if she was a government agent on assignment. The officers weren't impressed. They gave her one last chance, one final out. And what did she say? "You'll have to drag me out." And that's exactly what happened. The officers waded into the shallow end, grabbed her arms, and started pulling her toward the steps. Karen screamed, thrashed, kicked like a toddler mid-meltdown, but it didn't matter. The metal cuffs clicked shut, echoing louder than her shouting. And just like that, the queen of complaints stood dripping wet in handcuffs, humiliated in front of the entire neighborhood. The neighbors erupted. Some laughed, some clapped, some just stared in disbelief as their phones captured every second. Within hours, the footage was all over social media, Karen flailing, screeching about imaginary rules, and getting dragged out of the water like a scene from a comedy movie. And the final nail in the coffin, the HOA board released a statement. They had never authorized her to do this. She was acting completely on her own. The family got their pool back. The neighbors got a story that'll be told for decades. And Karen, she got slapped with a trespassing charge, a viral video, and a reputation she'll never live down. But here's the thing, this was never just about a pool. It was about control, about power, about one person who thought she could bend everyone to her will. That day, under the blazing summer sun, Karen learned the lesson the hard way. Nobody is above the law. And now, every splash in that pool means something more. It's not just water, it's freedom, it's joy, it's proof that sometimes the loudest splash is justice.